What's going on, family? It's your boy once again, Mike Macklin, aka Money Mike, the financial Thanos, because I'm snapping my fingers and I'm turning your financial problems to dust. Hey, I want to welcome y'all to my channel. Definitely appreciate all the love and support. Hey, if this is your first time tuning in, I want you to do me a huge favor and hit that like button. Leave me a comment if you enjoyed the video, and also consider subscribing to me, hitting that notification bell so that you can know every time I drop a new video on this wonderful platform. Now, each and every Tuesday and Thursday, what I like to do is reaction videos. Now, the purpose of my reaction videos is to kind of give people insights on different things that I'm learning. I like to kind of show you guys what I'm learning, who I'm watching, some of the things that I'm picking up. So, I try to put you guys in front of this same information so that, you all can kind of, have something to navigate your personal finances. Now, I want you to subscribe to me. But again, I don't want to, leave you without information. So I don't mind putting you in front of other people that can show you things as well. I definitely have a great program that I can put you in front of. But again, I don't want to, hog up all the limelight. I want to, show you guys where I'm coming from, where I'm kind of getting my information and help you to become better. Now, in this video, I've been watching this guy for a while now. His name is Richard Fain. I haven't watched this video yet, so we watching it kind of together. But it's a very interesting subject because a lot of people get into this whole whether you should pay off debt or invest. So I kind of want to, get his insight on this. I'll also be leaving my own insight and reacting as the channel goes on. But hey, listen, I ain't gonna hold y'all no longer. We're gonna get right into this thing. Let's go.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If you're stopping by the channel for the first time, please consider subscribing to my channel. And while you're at it, smash that like button for me. I really would appreciate it. In today's video, we're going to be talking about should you invest or pay off debt first? Many of you have dropped comments in the videos. You've also contacted me on Instagram through DM and asked the question, Richard, I got some debt, man, but I want to invest. How can I do both? Or should I pay off debt first and then invest? Or should I invest and just continue making my monthly payments on my debt? There's some things we got to think about, guys, when we're trying to decide what we should do when it comes to investing or paying off debt first. First thing we need to realize is personal finance is a behavior, right? It's all about creating the right behavior with money, which will help us and guide us in the direction we need to go when we're talking about our financial goals and ultimately getting ourselves to financial freedom. A couple things we know about debt. One, debt can be extremely stressful. Depending upon the amount of debt you have versus the amount of money you have to pay that debt, it can be extremely stressful. It can cause marital problems or relationship problems. We know 50% of the marriages in the United States end due to some type of financial situation or financial conflict. Having a lot of debt can also lead to bad decisions. Because of the stress, we sometimes will make decisions that are probably not in the best interest of us financially. True. Because of that debt. So the psychology of debt itself in the United States and probably around the world, it is a bad feeling. It's associated with doing something bad. So I think that's why a lot of people view debt as a bad thing. When it comes to investing or paying off debt.
I wanted to real quick kind of touch on that. Really the last thing he said about, why people see debt as a bad thing. A lot of times, honestly speaking, people see debt as a bad thing is because they don't have a plan for their money. As he was talking about before, personal financial success is a behavior. And one of those behaviors that you have to have is you have to plan your money. You have to have, goals for your money. You have to have a direction for your money. But what I really wanted to touch on was that last thing he said about how people think debt is bad. The wealthy actually have a reverse mindset on that. So it was interesting that he said that about, personal financial being a behavior for one, and two, about how a lot of people just look at debt as a bad thing. Now, debt can be a good thing. We're not going to get into that into this video, I'm more than likely, but debt can be a good thing when you properly know how to utilize it and when you can use that debt to make you money. Again, I won't get too deep into that, but I wanted to kind of touch on that point real quick while he was talking. So let's get back into this thing.
First, people tend to fall on one side or the other. You have folks like Dave Ramsey, who I respect a great deal, who does not believe you should ever have debt. You always pay your debt off first, and then you start investing. And then you got the other side of the spectrum, people like Robert Kiyosaki,
I knew he was
who
going to say that.
loves debt. He loves to leverage. He teaches leverage. Debt is a good thing if you use it properly and it puts money in your pocket.
Okay,
right?
so he did hit on my
So those are
point.
the two ends of the spectrum. And there are also people that are in the middle, sort of like me, who believe, if you got the right behavior with money and you handle debt responsibly, you can do both. Now, I'm going to walk you through 4 questions I want you guys to answer for yourself. And then you should be able at that point to make a decision. Should you pay off debt first, or should you be investing, or should you do both? The first question I want you to ask yourself is, what are your financial goals? Now, with people who have a lot of money, let's call them rich people, they have enough money coming in where they can have debt, but they can also afford to invest as well. But most of us are sort of in that middle class where we don't have a lot of discretionary money left over at the end of the month. We take care of our necessary expenses for our essentials like housing, transportation, food, insurance. And then if we have debt, we got a decision to make. Do we focus the remaining money that we have to pay off that debt, or do we invest it and just keep making the minimum payments on the debt? I believe you answer that question based on what your financial goals are.
Makes
you have
sense.
to sit down and put down on paper what you want to accomplish as it relates to your financial goals. If you do that, then I think it will help you make that decision on what you should do when it comes to investing or paying off debt. The second question.
Okay, real quick, want to touch on that. The real answer to that question kind of lies in that. It's all in what is your goals. So I'm glad he kind of said that first. What are your financial goals? What are you trying to do? If you just trying to, get a handle on some things, maybe, get a little extra money in your pocket, maybe, knocking out some of that debt is a quicker way. And then a lot of people also look at investing the wrong way. You got to understand, first and foremost, investing is a long-term thing. So if you're a person who wants like quick, I got to get this taken care of, I think, I would look at kind of the paying off the debt thing to put some little bit more money in your pocket, give yourself some more cushion. And, then maybe you're in the mindset now that, okay, you got that monkey off your back. You can kind of, push forward and start looking at now how to make that money really start working for you. So again, it's all about what your goal is. So I'm glad he said that first.
Question is, how old are you? See, age does make a difference. The younger you are, the more time you have to invest.
Right.
So if I'm 20 years old and I got $10,000 worth of credit card debt, and I decide I'm going to concentrate all of my money and pay off that $10,000 in credit card debt before I start investing, that's going to probably be okay at 20 years old, because if it takes you 5 years to pay the debt off, now you're 25 years old, you still got a long time to invest. But if I'm 40 years old and I got $10,000 worth of credit card debt, and I'm trying to decide, do I take the next 2 to 3 years and pay off this credit card debt, or do I just keep paying the minimum and invest? That's a different story, because obviously you're older, you're 40. Your time to be able to invest is a lot shorter than someone that's 20 years old.
Right.
Age is a big determining factor in deciding should you be investing or should you be paying off debt first? The third question.
Okay, real quick on number two. Something that stood out to me is him, asking, okay, how old are you? And kind of implying, I guess, that, maybe if you're a little younger, you can wait. I agree, but at the same time, I disagree a little bit. And this is why. This is why I say that. When you're looking at investing, again, investing is a long-term thing. But what a lot of people don't tell you about investing is the sooner you start, the less of your own money you got to put into investing. An example, if somebody started at 18 and they would only have to invest for, I think, maybe like 5 to 10 years tops, so by the time they're like 28, 30 years old, technically they don't have to invest anymore. And, they could see just as much as somebody who started later. The second part of that is you don't have to put as much into investing as you would if you were older. Like, let's say, again, use that same example. Somebody was 18 and started, they invest in Journey. In most cases, in a month, you probably only have to put maybe like $100, maybe even $50 a month to the side to invest, versus somebody who waits till maybe their 30s or even 40. Now you have to put hundreds of dollars a month to get to that same goal by retirement age. So again, I agree with them that, you can wait depending on your age, but at the same time, if you want that money to grow much more quickly and to use much less of your own money, I would say, don't wait too long to invest.
Question is, do you even know how to invest? And I'm not talking about listening to a YouTube video of a guy telling you how to invest, or you picking up a pamphlet or a small book on investing. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about really understanding the core fundamentals of investing, where you have to understand what your risk tolerance is. Are you aggressive? Are you moderate? Are you a conservative investor? Knowing where you are on that risk spectrum will help you determine what type of investments you want to make. Now, if you know how to invest and you're comfortable with the concept of investing, and you also understand how to manage your debt, then you could probably consider doing both. The fourth question you got.
Okay, real quick on that one. He was basically talking about knowing how to invest. I'm kind of going to combine 2 and 3 into there because he was talking about whether you're a conservative or aggressive investor. And age kind of plays a factor into that in my mind and in most experts' minds. They say when you're younger, you can be more aggressive because you got more time to recover, when the market is volatile or going down. Historically, the market typically goes up throughout time. It's been going up throughout time. You have your dips, but overall is going to keep going up. So you, at the younger age, you have more time to kind of, take those downturns and still be okay. As when you're older, you have to be a bit more conservative because, retirement is coming sooner and you're going to need more access to that money. So you can't, really take those hits like you would if you were younger. And then also, again, you have to understand investing. You have to, and they always tell you that don't invest in something that you don't understand. Warren Buffett is huge on talking about that, not investing in things you don't understand. So I would say, again, just consider your age as well as, consider, again, how much tolerance you have for risk, and look at your financial situation and, make that decision for yourself.
You got to ask yourself is, do I have enough money to invest? And that comes back to understanding your personal financial situation.
Right.
Do you have a budget in place?
Mm-hmm.
Are you living on less than what you make? Right? You got to know exactly what money's coming in, what money's going out, and what's left over. A lot of times people will not have an emergency fund, but they'll be investing in something because they heard somebody on YouTube or
Right.
on Instagram say it's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, guys, that's not a good idea. Number one thing you need to have is that emergency fund. 3 to 6 months of your expenses tucked away in a safe place at a bank, separate from your primary checking account, maybe in a savings account or a money market. That's your safety net. That's the first investment you need to make. After you've established that and you've paid off all of that bad debt, then I would say refocus on investing in real estate, the stock market, a business, whatever you believe is the right investment for you. If I'm on a limited budget and I got to choose between emergency fund, paying off debt, or investing, I choose emergency fund first. I will choose paying off debt second, and then I would choose investing third. That's the order I would choose if I got a limited amount of money to help me do all I need to do in my financial situation. I just wanted to have this conversation with you guys today because most of you guys who watch this channel are new to investing. You're beginners, whether it be real estate, whether it be the stock market, you're brand new at this. You need to know what your financial goals are. You need to take your age in consideration when you're thinking about pay off debt, invest first. You need to know how to invest. Again, you don't need to be an expert, but you do need to know what your goals are and what your risk tolerance for investing is and what type of investing you want to do.
Right.
And then fourth, you need to know if you got enough money to invest and prioritize the money that you do have. Emergency fund first, pay off debt second, bad debt, high interest rate credit card debt, high interest rate car loan debt, that type of debt first. And then redirect that money to investing in things that you understand and believe in and believe you have a good chance of creating wealth with.
Right.
Drop me some comments down in the comments.
All right. So we got to the end of this thing. Just to recap what he's talking about. He answered the question kind of at the end. He said basically his thoughts on what to do is, first and foremost, get that emergency fund. And I couldn't agree more. The reason for that is you have to assume that something bad is going to happen financially at some point. The people who don't prepare for that are the people who end up in more debt and in more trouble. Then you want to, look at paying off the debt is his second step. And then finally he says, hey, listen, once you freed up some money, you got your emergency fund in place, then look into investing. He's really harping on looking at your goals, looking at where you are in life, how old you are, and also what do you have available. All great points to consider when looking at whether or not, to pay off debt or invest. Now, I agree with a lot of what he's saying. And then there's parts where, I have caveats or I had things that I wanted to add on or I thought, was pertinent to this. The main thing being, for me, investing, you want to start that as soon as possible. Now, you don't have to invest a lot at the beginning. And a lot of financial people will tell you that. Most people think you have to invest a lot. With the new Acorns and Stash and other fractional share investment formats, you don't necessarily have to have a whole lot of money to start investing. But what I do want to touch on and agree with him is you got to know how much money you have, where your money is. That's why I typically allocate money towards a little bit of everything, towards emergency fund, towards paying off debt, towards investing. And that way you have a financial plan, but at the same time, you're kind of doing a little bit of everything. But to answer the question, he seems to be kind of leaning towards paying off debt first. That's what it sounds like. I heard. Comment below what you heard and what do you think about everything. Hey guys, I hope that you enjoyed this. I really did. I thought it was a great video. Hopefully it gave you some nuggets of information, gave you something to think about, and gave you some insights into what you want to do. Please, again, hit that like button for me if you enjoyed this video. Comment below what your thoughts are on this video, what you think you should do first, and also subscribe to my channel. Hey, thank you so much for tuning in. I want to definitely say I appreciate you all, each and every one of you who supports. Again, don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. God bless you all. Peace.
Damn, I ain't been broke in a minute.